A variety of ways we can mitigate risks in our lives. Right? One, the really obvious one is that you just basically learn so much about this, topic that you're trying to get into. In this case, it's real estate investing. So I learned a lot, right? I knew a lot. So I got comfortable in terms of, what I'm trying to get myself into. So that was the very, very first thing I did. I read all the books, I listened to all the podcasts I could. I, spoke to people that I heard on podcasts, reached out. One of those people is Joe Feller's an amazing guy. Then he became my coach. So I read, I got a coach, I spoke to different people. But I think the one thing that helps to, really reduce, I never want to say eliminate the fear, because, that's an ongoing thing realistically, is to write down your vision and write down your goals, right? When you put it down on paper, I literally have a whiteboard here in my office. You write your goals down. Why are you doing what you're doing, right? And what are you doing? In this case, what real estate strategy are you looking to deploy capital in, right? What are your timelines, right? Just to give you a guide, because if you've been in real estate for 5 years and you haven't bought a property, you haven't flipped a deal, you haven't been in an apartment syndication on the passive side, then there's something wrong. Why? Because the average investor would have bought a property before, well, an active, obviously, investor would have bought a property before 5 years. So you need those things. Now, when you read about the about the strategies you're trying to get to, you get a coach that is active in that space, right? Write your goals down. Make sure that you tag a timeline to it, so you know when you're on or off track, and then just do it, right? So for me personally, when I go back and I, wrote my goals down, I basically followed that step. I bought a property within 6 months, right? So I looked at, the MLS, we're looking at duplexes, triplexes, quads, and yeah, we're, Maryland. So I really want to bring out something as well for folks listening to us, Whitney. I was living in kind of in an apartment building, but in the suburbs, right? So when I started looking at multifamily, I could not find anything close to me. So we had to leave the comfort of our fancy apartment where we could always get parking. We could just drive down to the grocery store, to move into the city where we could never find parking. You have to drive around the block 2, 3 times, to get this building that we bought, our first building. So, and the reason I'm bringing this up is when you're, working towards your goal, things are not going to be comfortable. They're not going to be what you're used to. There's going to be some certain level of change and even uncertainty, right? But you have to be ready for that. And that means you're actually pushing yourself towards the life that you should be living. So we bought this first building. We moved into it. We rehabbed it. We did the BRA strategy, put out some cash. And then obviously we kind of been running that capital, since then.